You ever notice in Rocket League how one tiny decision changes everything? One bad commit, one hesitation, one missed challenge, and suddenly in the entire game feels different and you're stuck in a bad timeline. You go from being in control to scrambling. And honestly, I think life works the exact same way. Most people think that life changes through huge moments, but a lot of the time your future shifts through small decisions. One choice, one risk, one moment of courage, and suddenly everything changes. I genuinely believe we are constantly creating, entering, and exiting different timelines based on each and every decision we make. We aren't just living one life, we're navigating a web of infinite possibilities. Quantum physics points to something called the many worlds interpretation. The idea is that every time there are multiple possible outcomes, reality branches, and every possibility exists just across different paths. The idea is powerful because it makes you ask a serious question. How many versions of you exist based on the choices you make today? A version of you that stays comfortable, a version of you that keeps procrastinating, a version of you that fully steps into their potential. Which version are you feeding yourself in each given moment in this world of infinite possibilities? The truth is, most people stay trapped in the same cycle, not because they lack potential, but because they've been conditioned into limitation. And your brain loves what feels familiar, even if familiar means like stress, anxiety, staying stuck. Most people live on autopilot. Same thoughts, same emotions, same habits, same patterns, and they wonder why nothing changes. And I want you to know your future is not fixed. Think of life like a map where the road is being built the moment your feet touch the ground. You're not locked into one future. The act of choosing changes everything. And I believe human beings are far more powerful than we've been taught. I don't think we're just biological machines surviving on a floating rock. I believe there is intelligence like woven into reality itself. The same intelligence that beats your heart, the same intelligence that grows the trees, the same intelligence that powers up our reality, that powers the stars, moves the galaxies, and that intelligence exists within us. We are divine by nature. We carry the spark of creation within us. And most people don't fully experience that power because it gets buried by fear, by trauma, by conditioning, buried by a world that constantly programs you into scarcity, doubt, limitation. And at the core of things, we are very divine in nature, and we have access to the intelligence of the universe itself, to God, to creation, to the one mind. And you were born powerful, and many people were taught to live small. And this is kind of where it goes deeper, and where I want to talk about the subconscious mind and the gut and intuition. So most people think they are consciously controlling their lives. But the truth is, a huge percentage of your thoughts, behaviors, emotions, and decisions are running from subconscious programs built from childhood, past experiences, trauma, fear, conditioning. And if that programming is built around stress, survival, this becomes your default state. And you might end up operating on a lower frequency. And when I say frequency, I mean your state of being, your mental state, physical state, emotional state, fear, doubt, anxiety, overthinking, stress. That becomes your baseline. This becomes your baseline. And when you live in that state long enough, of being disconnected or living on a lower vibration, your energy drops. Your thoughts can become clouded. Your body becomes inflamed. You can face health problems. And your connection to yourself and your subconscious can get weaker. But this is where the gut-brain connection becomes so important. Your gut plays a massive role in mood, stress regulation, energy, clarity, even intuition. If your gut is inflamed, if your nervous system is overloaded, if your body is constantly stuck in fight or flight, this creates static in your system, and it becomes harder to think clearly. It becomes harder to think clearly, harder to feel aligned, harder to hear intuition. But when you start healing, when you start to improve your gut health, when you lower inflammation, when you calm your nervous system, when you feed your body real nutrients, when you get sunlight, movement, good sleep, peace, and feel connection, this is where something shifts. The static starts disappearing. Your energy rises, your thoughts become clear, your intuition gets stronger, and you begin operating on a completely different state, a higher frequency, more clarity, more awareness, more alignment. And that's when you start hearing that inner guidance more clearly, that voice, that knowing, that subtle pull towards something much greater. And maybe it's what naturally happens when your body and mind become aligned enough to receive the signal clearly. Our gut and subconscious minds are directly linked with each other. And when you're operating on this lower frequency, your subconscious mind's ability to process information is so small compared to if you were living onto a higher frequency. Your ability to process information is by billions of bits of information, you know, in this higher state. But if you're operating on a lower level, you might only be able to get like 100 bits of information, you know. And when you stop forcing everything, when you stop operating from fear, when you stop living from old programming, when you heal this connection with your subconscious mind and gut, that's when you enter flow. You stop fighting life, you start moving with it, you stop chasing so hard, and instead you begin operating from a place of deeper intelligence. And this is where your highest potential lives, guys. This is where your highest potential reality lives. And I want you to know, you are not stuck in your current reality. You are not trapped in your current identity. You are one decision away from a completely different life. One choice, one risk, one portal. Start choosing the version of you that you actually want to become and truly desire. Your subconscious mind has the ability to attract all of your wildest dreams in life. And connecting with this, connecting with God, getting closer to source is where the answer lies. So that's all I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, peace out, guys. Take it easy.